Well, we're here, dude.
Yeah, we are here.
Itai.
Yeah.
What's up, brother?
I'm out here on a podcast. It's
Yeah.
the first time I've ever been on a podcast.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's the first time.
Are you excited?
I'm kind of excited.
What does it feel like for
It feels
a first
like
timer?
I don't know. It kind of feels like it makes me feel kind of important, but I don't know. It's just your podcast, right?
Exactly. You should feel important.
Yeah.
Coming out today with the I don't know what the fuck it's called. I'm not Jewish.
Well, this is a menorah.
A menorah.
Or a Hanukkiah. Yeah. I mean, I'm just
Hanukkiah.
trying to represent right now. It's a hard time for some Jews. Some of them deserve it. I'm not gonna say who, but for the ones that don't deserve it, I'm here to represent.
Who are the ones that deserve it?
I don't like Zionists, dude.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't like Zionists. Some of them are in my family,
No
like
kidding.
my whole dad's side of the family. It's really hard, I think, if you lived through like a European Jewish purge at the turn of the century to then not support Israel. But what frustrates me is these people can't see the connection that we're like doing the exact same thing. They just don't. They can't. Like my grandpa, like he can't see it, and it's very frustrating.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know too much about what's going on.
It's
and
so.
I don't
it is.
say
It
anything
is
wrong.
complicated, but not for the reasons everyone says it is. Like, who's in the wrong? I'm like, well, Hamas sucks, but Israel, I think, is more in the wrong. But it's complex because they're just a satellite extension of the U.S.
Right.
So I think it's weird to like pretend that it's like this foreign body. Like, yeah, it's a foreign country, but it's essentially a U.S. colony if you look at the history of how it was founded. I don't know. I'm not here to. I'm not here. I don't know. Are we talking the war? Is
We can talk whatever. We talk whatever we want,
okay.
dude.
Yeah, I mean, we could. I don't know how funny that is. I don't know who wants to hear that. Of all the people dying. Yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. This war, technically, for the land, has been going on for thousands of years, right?
Yeah, it has. But basically after the Holocaust, the UN got together and said, like, because of the Holocaust, there needs to be a Jewish state. Like, fair enough. But then we displaced a lot of people to settle in Israel because, historically we were there. It's like, yeah, historically thousands of years ago we were there, but now these other people are there. And it's just what it is it's a blood feud that got conflated with race and religion. Like, the race and the religion gets conflated because, we're killing each other and we're different religions, but really it's just about the land and you killed my brother, so now I'm going to kill you, and it just goes on forever.
It's going to go on forever.
Forever.
Because the fact is that, kids are seeing their cousins, their sisters, their brothers die, and it's just going to create more
It just loops
terrorism.
around.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. It's hard. I just got to laugh at it. I don't know. Everything's stupid.
Yeah, everything is stupid.
Yeah.
Everything is stupid.
Everything's fake.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. Do you watch like the media and stuff like that?
Not really. No. I used to be really into film and TV, but I'm just like so disillusioned with Hollywood. Not just in like, I don't want to support them ethically, but just like I want to see something new and you're not showing me anything new. So like
Absolutely.
I'm going to go somewhere else.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
And so how long you been doing comedy then?
This has been the second year. It's going to be the end of my second year performing stand-up, but I wrote comedy my whole life. It's what I went to school for.
Right. You went to NYU, Tisch, School
I did.
of Tisch.
Yeah, I went to Tisch. Yeah, I was there.
And you're originally from New York?
Yeah, sort of. I was born in New York. I grew up a little bit in New Jersey, going there on the weekends. But for most of my life, I was here.
In LA?
In LA, in the Valley.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Was film something you always wanted to do?
Yeah, I mean, I was just obsessed with film and the
Right.
canon. I think it was like an obsessive compulsive thing. I was like, there's this canon of all the great films, and I've got to watch them. I had Netflix back when it was like a DVD
Right.
subscription. I was trying to watch everything. Get to college, I thought everyone was going to be like, hardcore like film fans, and like, let's talk about like Fritz Lang or whatever. But everyone's influences were just like Smosh or whatever. And like, if that's what people like, that's what people like. But what I'm realizing is that the audience that wants to be challenged they're not the people going to the movies.
Right.
It's two completely different audiences, and maybe
Agreed.
that's okay. I don't know. Fuck Hollywood. I don't know.
Yeah. That's changed. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I don't even watch film anymore, and I was a huge film guy.
Yeah,
Like, that's what I got
I'm
into. I
just
was doing it
tired
for
of it.
8 years of my life. You
I
know what
binge
mean?
it. I binge it at the end of the year just to be part of the conversation. I have not seen anything.
Same here.
Not a single thing.
Same here. I haven't.
Yeah.
And Scorsese's my favorite director. I have
Yeah.
not seen Killers of the Flower
I
Moon
haven't
yet,
seen it yet either.
which I hear is a great movie, but it's just like
I hear it's solid.
Yeah.
I feel like he tends to repeat himself. Like Scorsese has some of the greatest films ever made, but he is also a Hollywood director through and through, and I think sometimes he gets too attached to the spectacle of the big stars and the epic, like The Departed. To me, is just like Scorsese is doing Scorsese. Like this is a soap opera. Like I am not interested in this. None of the raw reality of like Taxi Driver is in there. Like none of the weirder. I don't know, but like I love Silence. I think that was probably his last great film. And
Silence was amazing,
yeah,
bro.
that's probably the last great film he's gonna make.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree. And again, it shows too that those people aren't watching that kind of stuff.
No one gives a fuck about
Right?
it.
But
Yeah,
that is literally
that's
one of the
what I
best
want. I mean, I
films.
know that he was almost a priest before he became a filmmaker.
Right, exactly, yeah.
He made The Last Temptation of Christ,
Right,
which was a huge
yeah.
inspiration to me. So I was like, whatever, now he's talking about whatever other people don't give a fuck about. They're like, where's Leo? I don't want to watch this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. What are your favorite movies?
Fuck. I love Camera Person. That's a pretty great documentary. I
Okay.
love The Shining, Seventh Seal. I
Look at you. You are a film buff.
Yeah, I mean, I wasted my life with this shit, dude. And now I'm almost moving on. The thing about autistic people is they'll get like a special interest. I feel like film is almost like my old special interest. Like, oh yeah, I remember when I liked film. It takes so much to like wow me. And I'm not trying to sound cool. It sucks.
No,
being so jaded. I want to go.
I'm right there
and
with you,
see
bro.
everything and love it, and I just can't.
I'm right there with
Yeah.
you, dude. Like it just I get lost. I get bored now when I
for
watch
sure.
it, honestly.
Do you watch? You're in a relationship, right?
Yeah.
Do you watch shit with your girlfriend?
We will, but now it's more just like the Liam Neeson movies. You know what I mean? We've been on this Liam
Bros and
Neeson kick.
I mean, he can make dumb shit watchable. I'll give him that.
Dude, it's
I mean,
great.
he's the king of that.
I mean, it's the same thing too, right? The movies that he picks is always the same. He's a father who's loving. And
I think that after Taken, he realized that he could sort of have a second career high playing
Yes.
like these, less just like sort of like old school,
Yep.
like masculine, older like action, and he's just been leaning into that. And
Yep.
like, I can't fault like dude's trying to make a living. He's making bank. Like,
making
congrats.
bank,
but he's
dude.
yeah, absolutely. But he hasn't been doing anything. I mean, the last great thing he was in was probably Silence, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there it is. Silence, only movie you got to see. Everything else, fuck it, dude.
Well, if you guys didn't notice, I can't believe it took me this long to bring it up. Almost 5 minutes into the podcast.
Oh, we've been
but,
recording this whole time.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Swag. What's up, guys? What's up?
But
Cass?
Itai has autism, just like you said, dude. Yeah, if you guys
dude.
couldn't tell.
Oh my god. Yeah, if you couldn't tell by the outfit.
So educate me here, dude. I don't know a lot about autism. What are there different?
Yeah, I mean,
Levels of
they
it?
keep changing the words. But the way it works now is there's 1, 2, and 3. I have a joke about it that got like 3 million views.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, but if we're actually talking like the science, essentially it's just levels of support. Like we all miss cues, social cues. We all stick to our routine. Stuff like that, different levels of anxiety. Like if you're a level 3, you need constant support. Maybe you can't like use the toilet or whatever.
I see.
Maybe you obviously can't have a day job. And then like I feel like I'm down at level 1, what used to be called Asperger's. I think that no one could really tell until they talked to me for like a little bit. Like if you like at a glance,
Right.
like I'm going like 7-Eleven or whatever, it's like, give me a Red Bull. It's cool, thanks, leave. No one knows. But if like, okay, let's sit down and talk about film within like 30 seconds, you're like, something's off with this guy. I don't know what it is, but like something,
When were you diagnosed?
I was never formally diagnosed with autism. I was formally diagnosed with OCD as a kid, which has a lot of overlap.
Really?
There's very often
Okay.
comorbidity because the rigidity with the schedule and the interests and the routine. It's often they're misdiagnosed as the same thing, but my older brother is like, he's not funny, he's just regular autistic. And he got the diagnosis, and basically I just had such a shitty social life growing up, and so many people were telling me I was autistic that in college I realized like, okay, I am diagnosed with OCD, my brother's autistic, all of my teachers are telling me I'm autistic. I must be. Like
Yeah.
I must be. So like, okay, fine. I guess that is what it is.
You said the rigidness of the scheduling.
Oh, dude, like if I can't go for like my run, I will lose it. Dude.
Oh, wow.
Like my entire schedule is like so tight. I really will wake up. I mean, like I'll wake up and I'll eat like 3 cans of like all I eat are like beans and rice. I don't even like beans and rice. It's just I don't eat animals. I'm a vegetarian because I think they're cute, but I can't eat vegetables because I'm picky and autistic. So
Right.
beans, you know, I'm at Trader Joe's with like 8 bags of beans. They're like, you really must love beans. And I was like, no, dude, that's just my life.
Well, at least
fuck
we
the
know
beans.
that your bowels are good.
Oh yeah, dude, I'd be
fiber.
taking those big dumps, the bean dumps. Yeah, this is what everyone wants to hear on the podcast, right? They want to
exactly.
hear about
I do.
my
That's
shitting
what-
habits. Yeah.
That's why I brought you here. Fuck the comedy.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. Yeah, so I wanted to ask you something.
Okay,
Why usually like the comedians like become a comic, you know, get grounded and like then they start the podcast. But you started the podcast. You've only been doing this for like 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So why is that?
Why did I start the podcast?
Why did you start the podcast before you kind of like
made it?
made it?
Well, basically, it was just a way for me to learn from open micers that I enjoy watching.
Sure.
Right? Because the first month of starting off, I had no like roadmap, and I don't think
Right.
anyone has. Right?
No,
and
I think people think they do and then realize they
exactly.
don't. Yeah.
Right? And then, but at that first month, I was just like, well, obviously, comedy doesn't pay. It's going to take years to make a living off this. Like,
Oh,
what
yeah.
can I do now to kind of get myself out there? You know what I mean? And it was more so that I had the skills of the filmmaking side. So
Right.
I kind of used it as an incentive for comedians to come on and I can give them cool reels.
Right. And do you think that's been working?
Absolutely,
Yeah?
bro. Like, honestly, like if I haven't, because what's great about it is if I'm struggling with something,
Sure.
I mean, I could just make friends here, but if I'm struggling with something, I'll do a podcast with someone who I know that could maybe lead me to an answer to
I see.
what my problem is, right? Like, an example would be like writing,
Sure.
right? Like one of my first episodes, or one of my first handful of episodes, I think Evan Warner came on because
Yeah,
his
dude,
writing
he's fucking cool
dude,
as fuck, dude.
his writing is immaculate.
Yeah.
It is so good.
Evan's
You know
cool.
what I mean? So I had him on the podcast. That and he was very nice to me my first week
Mm-hmm.
doing stand up. He's very welcoming, telling me what spots to go to.
That's funny,
but-
you know. When I go to his mic at the haha, he can be ruthless, dude.
Dude.
But like I like it. Like,
I love it.
I go to the haha. Like something about the haha. I don't know if it's all Evan. And Evan, if you're listening to this, I fucking love you. But like he will like just tear someone down,
Dude.
and then we'll all join in on it. And it's just I don't know. It's like contagious.
But it's great because the way he does it, it doesn't feel like it's coming from a bad place. You know what I mean? Like when I fucking roast someone, sometimes I feel like I'm very mean about it, and I'm like, "Fuck, dude!" Like I
think
shouldn't have done
it's
that.
just like if it's funny, you are forgiven.
Right, exactly. So
Yeah.
maybe that's the thing. Maybe it's just I'm not funny.
Yeah,
yet.
like if you're just being a dick and it isn't funny, and
Yeah.
it's like, but if you're a dick and everyone laughs, it's like, well, now it's okay. We're all now complicit in this, and I
Exactly.
think that maybe that's why it's almost funny.
Exactly.
I don't know. Yeah, Evan's cool.
Evan's cool, but yeah, that's why I started this, dude, and it's been helpful ever since. I mean, clearly, I'm like working here now. I've got finally a day job.
Yeah, that's
you know
cool.
what I mean?
That's cool that you have a day job and like something tangentially related to the field.
Exactly,
That's very
dude.
cool.
And the owners were both comedians, so
Yeah.
it's like I'm in the world right now. Like
Yeah,
there's
you're
really
in-
nothing else.
you're in the mix,
Yeah,
dude.
there's nothing else like interfering with anything. You know what I mean? Like, and the greatest part is I only work around the bookings. So if there's no bookings, I can go hit a mic like Badger and Jam.
Yeah, it's
You know
right
what I
across.
mean?
It's right
Yeah.
across the street. But what about your meats? Like, how do you steam your meats and cheeses? That's why I'm here, right? you want the FireHouse secrets? I know that's why I'm here.
Actually, yeah, dude. Like,
Yeah.
let me know about the FireHouse secrets,
Yeah.
dude.
So basically, like, what makes FireHouse is we steam the meats and cheeses together, and no one else can compete
Steam
with
them.
that. Yes, they're steamed. You know, we steam it, and it gets nice and steamy.
When it's already made, the sandwich is
Yes,
already made.
and that's why we charge like 3 times the amount. You know.
Especially at Universal, there's an upcharge
yeah,
there
dude,
as well.
Universal people come in, they're like, why is it so expensive? Like, you're at a theme park.
exactly.
You paid $20 for parking. What the fuck do you expect?
Exactly.
You know, they don't
dude.
want to pay. They're like, oh, can I sample? Can I sample this? Like, no, this isn't ice cream. Like, you want to sample the meat? Sample this meat, dude. Like, fuck it. This job is so fucking stupid, but it's almost like mythically bad.
Right,
You know, like,
right.
I quit. I came out of film school. I worked at AMC. I quit / got fired from AMC. And now I work across from an AMC that I was going to transfer to anyway at the movie theater theme park. It's just stupid. Like, life is fucking dumb, dude. And as a kid, I grew up here. I would go to Universal. I was like, yeah, Universal is so fun. And I was like, I will fucking kill everyone at Universal Studios. You know, like how things change, you know?
Oh my God, Itai. Let's take it back to the autism here, dude. Okay, let's talk about actually the childhood. Like, what was childhood like growing up for you?
Childhood fucking sucked, but it's
Yeah.
not because anything particularly awful was done to me.
Mm-hmm.
I love my family. I love my parents. I have a very good relationship with my parents. But school was just so hard, just going in and being told explicitly what you can and can't do.
Right.
You know, sitting still. It's just not for neurodivergent people, and I think that in retrospect I do support education, but the American school system is like a factory model from the Industrial Revolution. That's not how people learn anymore. Like my sister, she can't read anything. She learns everything through videos, and she's fine. She's smarter than me. Like this is just an outdated model. I hated it. I got in trouble a lot. I was in a lot of Down syndrome like special ed rooms when I was younger because like I just didn't fit in the normal class. I didn't really fit in there either, but it was less disruptive. I don't know.
Disruptive for you, or were you
for
the
the
disruption?
class? Like I would become because like this is where it all started, right? Is like I had Tourette's, which is now like under the autism umbrella now because they're constantly changing things. But like you know, like if I wanted to say something like a smart ass to the teacher or to some kid, I would just say it without thinking, and then people would laugh. I'm not even trying to be funny, and that's what I do. Oftentimes, like at these improv mics we go to, where like I'll say something and people laugh. Like I'm just telling the truth because I didn't understand it was a rhetorical question. Like you asked me like about my penis. And I was like, yeah, dude, it's 5.5 inches, super thick. It's like a chode, which is true. But I couldn't tell. Like as I was talking, I was like, oh, this is a rhetorical. Yeah, I was not supposed to. I'm always. That's the thing about like level 1 is like I'll catch the social cue, but like a second too late. I was like, oh fuck, but I'm already fucking talking.
No fucking way, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I thought that you were just going into it. I didn't know it was like a thing where you were just speaking out loud.
My instincts, like my comedic. Oh, you know, Itai's so quick with the jokes. Like that's just the autism, dude. Like that. I'm not thinking. There's no writing involved.
Dude,
with that shit.
That is probably exactly what you want as a comedian, though. That is the most authentic that you can be, right?
Yes, but like it is hard, you know,
to
control, and then you want to be able to control it, you know. Like I'll go through like certain trigger phrases, you know, like that are just pleasing to say. You know, like
so you just say things that you don't even think about.
Like I'll get attached to a phrase. Like right now, it's kill everyone with a gun. And like I support gun control. I don't consider myself a violent person, but that's just what I want to say, and I can stop myself from saying it when I'm with people. But the second I'm alone, especially if I am high, all bets are off, dude.
Do you smoke weed?
I smoke so much weed, dude, but like I don't think I give off that I mean.
What
when I'm wearing
fuck?
all this shit, I think I give off that vibe. But like, yeah, I'm not the kind. I'm like a high functioning.
Bro, we're smoking after this.
Stoner. I don't know. The thing about me is like smoking is usually something I want to do alone because it makes me more autistic. I would say like you know I was just saying like I can catch on to the social cue, but like a second late, I'm not gonna catch it at all if I'm high. So it's not even fun to be high with other people unless like we're truly like close friends.
Got you.
Because it's like any sort of filter that I have is just off, and I barely have one to begin with. The alcohol is better. The alcohol I feel like makes me pass as neurotypical more, and then the second I get high, it's just like Elon Musk type shit. You know, like, oh dude, this is dank, bro. I'm so cool. It's like shut the fuck up, Itai. Like fucking sober up. No one wants this.
Do you like to get crossfaded then?
I do sometimes. It's like if we're going out. I don't go out that much. Like I smoke weed with my friends. I live with my 2 best friends. That's fine. I go out to the mics, and that's a social thing. Sort of.
Dude, I had no idea you were getting high at these mics.
No, not at the mics.
Not at the mics.
I will never perform high.
Okay.
I will never perform
I can't do it either.
High. No, it's gonna be awful. What I don't smoke until I've done everything I need to do that day.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like a reward.
It is basically a reward, but it's also an addiction. Like, let's be real.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not. People are like, oh, you know, it's natural. It can't be bad. It's like poison is natural. Like eating rocks is natural. That doesn't mean it's good. Like everyone's like, yeah, but I'm helping. Like it's okay if you're a junkie. I'm a junkie, but like get off your fucking high horse. You know,
exactly.
We're fucking losers. It's not even a cool drug. Like, we're losers, dude.
That's a good bit. Bro, you could talk about drugs, actually. That'd be a great bit for you.
My roommates are like drug scientists. My roommate Ben.
Really?
My roommate. I have 2 roommates named Ben because every Jewish dude is named Ben. We met in this Jewish school in the Valley. One of them like works in the lab, but like mostly from home. You know, like 2 days a week. And he's like, oh, I got.
So he's like cooking up shit in his room.
No, it's more.
Okay.
It's more like 2 days. He's like, I have to go in and like actually do science shit, and the rest of it is just managing data and managing teams, managing data from home.
Fuck.
So like, I work weird hours with FireHouse Subs. Like most of the day is just like us smoking weed, and then maybe at night he's like, I gotta go to the lab, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to a. I don't know. Like I'm not. I'm just some guy. Everyone's just some guy. You know,
Right,
no one.
right.
No one is cool. No one is actually cool. Everyone's some dude.
You damn it, I forgot what I was gonna ask. Are your roommates autism?
No,
Autistic too?
dude. Like I can't hang out with other autists. It's the same reason like I can't hang out with other comedians for like
Yeah.
outside of. Do you do that? Do you hang out with comedians outside of comedy?
Well, I go to the Comedy Store and that's where we hang out.
That's
I don't
where you
really.
hang out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I just like it takes one to know one. We're all crazy. Dude.
Yeah.
I don't know if I.
For sure.
I don't know if I need to like. I think of everyone like, oh yeah, like we're work friends.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not. I don't know if I'm like, you know, getting crunked with Uncle Rooster or whatever.
I've never seen a comedian outside of a mic. I just overheard a conversation where comedians will see other comedians outside
Yeah, that's
of
crazy
mics.
when people are like, oh yeah, you know, I was over with like so and so. We were getting drunk. It's like, you guys see each other outside of mics? Like,
Yeah.
you fucking crazy, dude.
I mean, I wouldn't mind getting fucked. Or actually, yeah, I have gone to a party where the comedians do. That's fun.
Is it?
It's definitely fun. Yeah,
I was
yeah.
never like a party guy. I don't know. Like,
We got a party. I
think
wanna
that
party
have
with you.
I think I have like a bro sense of humor, but I'm just not a bro, dude.
No, I want to
I'm
get
just-
fucked up with
I'm not
you.
a bro.
I
don't
definitely
know.
want to get fucked up with you, Itai. We're gonna
Okay.
go fucking do
Okay,
some
okay,
Jewish
well,
stuff.
should we-
Let's go do some Jewish stuff and get drunk.
Jewish
yeah,
stuff
I
and
don't
get
know.
drunk? What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Going
A bar
around,
mitzvah?
like circumcising kids? If you want, I don't know.
Well, you know, as Asians, I could probably make a really good dish out of it.
You think you can like it is
Like a Shanghai- like
I
a-
mean my dad ate my foreskin.
Please tell me you're joking.
Dude,
Is it a thing?
autistic people can't lie, dude. Everything I say is true.
Like, well, I'm just gonna skip over that. I'm gonna
Yeah.
skip over that.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, we can cut that.
No, I'm gonna leave it in. I'm just saying we're skipping over it.
Oh
'cause
yeah,
that's-
yeah. I mean, we don't need to elaborate. Yeah. I mean, it's enough said. Yeah.
What kind of music you listen to?
Fuck. I kind of absorb the music that is around me. My little brother is like a metal head, and my roommates are really into like electronic music and pretentious like indie shit, and I'll
Okay.
just absorb that. But I'll listen to anything if it's good.
You like
I
rap?
kind of ignored music entirely. I was just so like all I care about is film, you know,
right.
as a kid and as a teenager and as in college. And then I had this awful internship where I had to I had to like transcribe footage for this documentary that never came out because the guy who
fuck.
directed it had no idea what the fuck he was doing.
Jesus.
So, but I was editing it, and I just needed to listen to music, so I actually got it. It's like, oh, music is sick. Like, this is actually the cooler art form. Like, film is for
Yeah.
suits, dude.
No, absolutely. Like, what
Yeah.
I think the music is the most natural way to be creative for a human. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
people are
it's-
very
it's-
talented
it's
with that
sick.
stuff.
I mean, film. It takes a village. It's almost like
Right.
it's almost like less than the sum of its parts. Like if you take a movie like Avatar, you know, like the individual animators working on the flower, or that's cool. But when you bring it all together, it is now just this corporate product. It's like
Right.
less than the sum of its parts. I
Yeah.
would say.
Did you realize this stuff later on in life? With
I
film?
think I went to when I was 16. I took just because I was like looking for any excuse to get out of school. I took this like a UCLA extension class on screenwriting, and that's when I kind of realized that like every Hollywood screenplay is just Mad Libs, and it's all the same format. And that's when I started to branch out to like foreign film and indie film, and now I'm just like fuck film.
Yeah.
I don't know, like who? I think it's a dead medium, dude.
Dude, thank you. Maybe
Yeah.
I have got autism because I've been saying that for like the past
I
3
won't
months
go to
and
the
no one
theater.
agrees with me.
I've always hated going to the theater. Like, you know, everyone's like talking.
Right.
Or they're on your phone.
Right.
There's like 30 minutes of
And there's just nothing
30
special on
minutes
the
of
screen
And there's
anymore.
nothing special about the theater is just an arena for people to go see things that they already like.
and already know.
And already know. That's what it
Right.
is at this point. And it's because of what TV has become. I think there's so much TV and so many little niches. The only reason, and film has been competing with TV since its inception. That's why
Exactly.
they created sound, color, CinemaScope, The Roadshow, whatever. But now it's like you can see pretty much anything, whether you want it to be like a romantic comedy or some weird dark indie thing. Like you
Yeah.
can find it on TV. The only thing
Exactly.
you can go to the theater for is to see something you can't see on TV, which is something with a massive budget. If
Right.
something is going to recoup its massive budget, it has to have mass appeal, and so it's a commercial for something people already like. Five Nights at Freddy's, Marvel, whatever. You're basically you're watching 30 minutes of commercials, and then you're watching a commercial. And the thing is, like, people like this. If people
Yeah.
like this, like that's fine.
Right.
I don't give a fuck, dude.
Right.
I don't give a fuck.
It's just what it is.
It just is, dude. The skibbity toilets. I don't know. Everything's content.
Yeah.
Everything's content.
Everything's
dude.
content.
Scorsese's right. Even sometimes
Yep.
Scorsese is content. Like that's how much content is content.
That's
I don't know.
wild.
This is content. We're out here making content.
We're all making content,
This
dude.
is content. Yeah.
Do you have like a sixth sense where people with autism, like, can you, without them saying anything, you're just like autistic?
I know when people I know when people are autistic, absolutely. And sometimes I think they don't know that I know or whatever. I mean, basically, at FireHouse Subs, at Universal Studios, someone comes in and they're decked out in like the Nintendo gear and this mushroom sipper hat or whatever, and they're like 40. I was like, yeah, this guy, this guy's autistic, and I don't know. There's so many of them that are like childlike, and that's a stereotype I try to reject. Because I'm so serious.
Right.
I would never do anything ridiculous ever.
Ever.
No. Everything I do is 100% serious. I would never do anything stupid. It's just not in my nature.
I couldn't even tell if that was a bit or not. I'm gonna just go with that, and we're gonna roll again.
We're just out here. I don't know.
What did they ever give you like an explanation on how or why you got autism? Or obviously
it's genetic. Like we all got it from my grandpa. My grandpa was fucking insane, and he was like the smartest man, the coolest, nicest dude I ever knew. He could do anything. He could sculpt, he could woodwork, he could paint, he could act, he could run. But he was just crazy, and he never went to therapy, and he never took medicine or anything. And we just kind of accepted that he was crazy. And then everyone in my family got some sort of something. Like I have a cousin who's like, borderline. I had my grandpa's sister was like schizophrenic. Like we got skeletons in our closet. Like I'm lucky I ended up this sane, I would say.
Damn.
Yeah.
Dude,
I mean,
really?
but like whatever. I don't know. Everyone's
crazy.
Everyone's crazy, and also like I hate 90% of people anyway.
Right.
So like, oh man, like this autism thing is ruining like my potential to like meet up people and socialize. Like fuck people. I fucking hate everyone, dude. Like I don't care about, and it's so hard to care about someone when we find out like what they like. Like I'm at like the Bruise Brothers mic or whatever. I like the Bruise Brothers mic. Have you ever been there?
No. Not
Okay,
the Bruise
so this is
Brothers.
like a NoHo bar mic. The reason I like it is that the people there are kind of like hipster wannabes for the most part, with the exception of a couple people.
Right.
Like Drew, who hosts the mic, is cool. And some of the people there are doing what I'm doing. But for the most part, it's like hipster wannabes. And why I like that one is the audience is much more like an actual audience rather than other comics. And sometimes when I think I have something perfect or almost perfect, I want to see what, I call them the fish. What do you call them? To me, it's just like SpongeBob, like, the random fish that are just there to say something stupid. And you can't imagine like them having any sort of like interior life. Outside of this moment of them saying something, so like that's the audience, dude. They're just the fish, and the fish will laugh at anything. Yeah, is what I'm realizing. Yeah. Like I'm starting to question what comedy even is, like because everything is so contextual in the room. Like if we're doing improv, like pretty much everything. A couple exceptions, sometimes you can turn it into a bit, but usually like this is funny in this room for this hour or whatever, and then it's never funny again. Yeah. But the fish will laugh at anything, dude. If you go to like the chateau and you just end with the funny word, like oh yeah, I was walking down the street and I ran smack into a MILF. They'll die, and then it's like, what am I even doing? Like is this even? Do I even want these laughs?
Right. No, and that was one thing I learned early. So a comedian told me that. Just audience members are just dumb because they'll just laugh at anything.
Everything's dumb. They'll laugh at the setup, and sometimes the setup is intentionally funny. But if they're laughing at the setup so hard that it's like a punchline, I want to be like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like I'm not even done. It's not even the funny part. Like why am I even here? I don't know. I like making other comics laugh. I think me too. That's cool. That makes you feel cool.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I definitely agree. Have you? You said you had Tourette's and obviously autism, but like the Tourette's thing. Have you ever? Has a racial word ever slipped through the cracks?
No, because you really only say things that are on your mind, and I'm just not one to say slurs.
Good for you.
It's just not. If I was saying slurs, it would be because I would actually constantly holding back slurs, but that's not the case. So like never. Have I said stupid shit that has fucked me over? Yes. Has it ever been a slur? No. I'm not.
Well, I guess that's good that I don't have autism.
Yeah. Why? You just like to sling the slurs in there deliberately. I am making a deliberate neurotypical choice to call you the N-word. Jesse, you're something else, dude. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if I should even be on this podcast. I don't know. Am I gonna get canceled? You know, talking to you.
I haven't been canceled yet.
It hasn't been canceled
Still going
yet.
strong.
Okay, well, I'll
you
just
know?
try harder.
Yeah.
You know, let's fucking end both our careers right now, dude.
What's the dating situation like for you, brother?
So I can't pick up on flirting. I can't do it.
I'm telling you, I have autism. I can't either.
Yeah, so
do it.
any girl I've ever had sex with is someone I met online first. If we're on Tinder, if we're on Hinge, then explicitly I know we're looking for something romantic or sexual. If someone is like looking at me and they think like they're smiling at me at like a club or whatever, and I was like, I don't know what this means. I would rather not get laid than make this woman uncomfortable because I misread something. You know, I'll just and I do get laid, but like I have to work at it. You know, like it's just numbers. It's like an Instagram like conversions, like
Exactly.
1,000 views. How many people are actually gonna like
Exactly.
click on something? Okay, so you know, I talked to a girl, I talked to 3 girls or 4 girls. You know, maybe one of them actually wants to meet up. And it's just, that's why when it goes south,
Well, bro,
it
that's
sucks.
a good.
It's like, dude, I fucking spent a month talking, like wrangling people to like make this happen. I don't know. I sound like a fucking douchebag. But
Not
this
even.
Is, this is the only
No.
way. This is the only way I could get laid because I cannot.
At least your ratio is respectable. 1 out of 4 or 5. Mine, when I was single, is like 1 out of 10 to 15.
How long have you been with your girlfriend?
7 years.
Do you ever worry that you can't like satisfy her? You
No.
know, like with your penis?
No,
No.
never, no.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say because like if you need like a third, no charge, dude. Just don't touch me. You know.
If you wear the hat.
If I wear the hat, dude, yeah, I mean, obviously.
And the shades,
And
that's
the
it.
shades, yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously, yeah. But yeah, no, I've never been in a relationship that lasted longer than a week. I just can't. It's because of my schedule. You know, like I want to wake up and run, or I want to wake up and write. It's like this person is still in the bed, like
So
with
it's
me.
re-
Like, why? Like,
So
leave.
people with autism are really specific with their schedule. Like they're very like, I guess this
yeah,
is the OCD
it's where the
stuff.
overlap with the OCD usually
Right.
is. If anything breaks my schedule, I will just lose it.
Is
dude.
it, and running obviously is healthy. Is that it for all autism? People with
No,
autism,
no,
where they have to
no,
do something
That's
physical?
just one of my habits. Like it could be for other people. Like, yo, man, if I don't sit and like stack my Funko Pops into a pyramid, it could be anything.
wow.
Mine is running. I think because I also have the chronic like anxiety, because OCD is technically an anxiety disorder. Is like I don't want to be fat. I'm worried about getting fat, and so then the compulsion is to run.
Have you ever been fat?
Never.
Never.
But what I do is I don't eat any sugar at all during the week, and I like get like anorexic by Friday, and then like I was like now I can eat the food I want, and it's mostly just like cookies and cake or whatever.
Jesus.
I'll gain 5 pounds,
God, I
and then I'll
hate
lose
that.
it again, and that's how every week as I'm gaining and losing. The
So you're just eating
pounds.
sugar then?
Well, it's because I don't like anything.
beans.
I don't like anything. So I'm like eating beans and rice and like veggie like soy patties just to get my protein in.
Right.
I only like. I mean, it's like it's the autism diet, dude. Like you just eat like a child, but that'll make you fat. So it's like you can do that for a few days.
Do you take supplements and stuff like that, like taurine or anything like that?
I don't take any supplements. I get all the protein from like the beans, from the soy patties. That's enough. And then the rest of it is just like where do I get calories from? Usually from
Right.
whole grain bread. And I eat
Holy
the
shit,
same
there's a
things.
whole bunch of carbs, bro.
Dude, all I do is like eat bread and like beans and run
That's
and smoke weed
crazy.
and do jokes, and like other people are like, oh, you know, I'm such a foodie. This is one of the reasons I can't date. There's just like well, let's get food. It's like, okay, cool. You want to get pizza? No. It's like, okay, well then we're not going out. Then, you know, because I fucking hate everything. Yeah, I don't mean. There's so many reasons why I've never been in a. It's because like it's my schedule. Like if you
Yeah.
tie your schedule down to someone.
Dude, 100%,
Yeah,
dude.
then it's like I feel like I can't even be me. I can't
Yeah,
breathe. I
and you
don't
feel
know.
bad, like you know what I mean. Like you feel bad because the other person's just like alone and shit like that. Like right now
Yeah.
in our relationship, 7 years in our relationship,
Yeah.
like, I mean, obviously being separated isn't that much of a deal from when we first started
Sure.
dating. But it's like we understand why we're being separated, right? Like
Why
it's just
you're
a
being
hustle.
separated. Yeah,
right?
I mean
we just gotta hustle.
that's just part of it, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sure. I mean, if you say so, I wouldn't know, dude. Like,
Itai's just fucking got a lineup. That's why.
oh yeah, dude. It's a revolving door of pussy for
Like,
sure. Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
Everyone can see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you guys don't know, fucking when Itai's on stage, there are women gawking at this guy.
I didn't even know this.
Gawking,
Joe was
bro.
telling me those girls were gawking at
Bro.
me. I did not even see. I'm so oblivious. I did not notice.
I think it's a I
any
don't
of
give a
that.
fuck attitude, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
think,
that's
and
just,
you play into it so well.
I play into. Here's the thing: when I went up and I started doing comedy a year ago, I come from a writing background. Being on stage and talking to people is so difficult and not natural for me. So I was doing the same dark material, like, oh, the pandemic, I want to kill myself. And the jokes were there, but no one was laughing because they thought I was actually going to kill myself. So my sister said to me, like, Itai, you have to pretend you're happy and then people will laugh. So then that's what I've been doing, and everyone's like, oh yeah, Itai is so cool. Itai doesn't give a fuck. Like, it's all fake, dude. Everything sucks. My life sucks. Everyone's life sucks. No one is happy.
How did you do that transition to where it's like you were dark and then you want another water?
I'm okay. I'll live. I'm
Are you
fine.
sure?
Yeah, I was just stimming. Yeah, we're good.
Pick it up just so it looks good
sorry,
in frame.
my bad,
No,
my
you're
bad.
fine. You're
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
You're fine.
yeah.
God damn it, what were we talking about?
We were talking about the talking.
Oh yeah. So how did you manage to do that from going to like a happy Itai? Like is smiling more?
It's
or?
fake. I can't smile on command. Literally, what I do is I just I practice in front of the mirror for hours. And I get the delivery down, and to me, I just accepted, oh, the delivery is part of the writing. Like,
Right.
if they will only laugh at it if I use this inflection, like I don't give a fuck, or I'm sad, or I'm happy, or whatever, then that's just what I need to do, and then that's like the writing. But that's the hardest part, is the performance. I will for hours before even a mic, I won't do anything that day other than just practice the delivery.
Holy
Because
shit.
it's so hard for me just to be able to talk to people articulately and not just come off as insane. So
Holy shit, so you're spending-
that's all fake. Everything's fake, dude.
So you're spending hours just getting the intonations and all the cadences.
Yes.
Holy
Yeah.
fuck, Itai.
Yeah.
And when you do say it at a show, does it feel fresh for you or?
No. To me, if I'm doing a show, it is like a monologue, and the craft is making it seem like it isn't. Like I'll write in crowd work.
Right.
But
You'll write it in.
But it's not real crowd work. Like I feel like we're vibing right now. Like, let's get dark. It's like, oh, Itai just did that off the cuff. It's like, no, dude, that's in the script. It's all fake.
Have you ever tried to just go off the
Yeah,
cuff?
sometimes I have to. Sometimes I have no choice. If the room doesn't like a joke,
Right.
you've got to tag it.
Right.
The autism will kick in. So you got to say something right now. So it's like, oh, that was stupid, Ty, kill yourself. And it was like, ha ha ha. I was like, okay, we're back on track, and now back to our regularly scheduled program.
That's the only crowd work you'll get.
Yeah, I mean, the people. It's not that crowd work can't be funny and that it doesn't take skill, but the people who are doing mostly crowd work are doing it because they cannot write material.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Guilty.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There are comedians now who like only do crowd work.
Yeah.
They can't write. That's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long do you spend writing?
Me, now that I'm here, dude, every booking, like if I have downtown,
yeah.
if I'm not editing, I'm trying to at least write one joke.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? It's gotten me better at obviously being more prepared when I go to open mics, because before I felt like I wasn't prepared because I wasn't writing as much, and I never had like this influx of new material as I do now. Well,
Yeah.
obviously not good material, you know what I mean? But the fact that I'm able to work out 10 to 15 jokes as opposed to like the 3 or 5.
And you'll start to change. When I started out, I would be like, I need to have a new. I think Justin said this on the podcast. Was like, I used to just write a new 5 minutes. It didn't matter if it was good. But then it's like, well, instead of having like 5 minutes of like one-liners and maybe 6 of them are good, like wait until you have something meatier. And that's the thing, is like I don't force myself to go to a mic. If I have nothing, then I have nothing. I can go do other things. I have other projects. I still write screenplays and teleplays for myself. I'll go do the mic when I have something. I'm not going to forget how to tell a joke at this point.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. If I hadn't been on stage for a week, I would just go to an improv mic to go to one.
Right.
But generally speaking, unless I have something I want to work on, I would rather just stay home and work on other shit.
Yeah. And that's what I'm finding out too.
Yeah,
honestly.
like people, if you view it like it's a loaded gun, like, oh man, I have to get on stage, and you're doing the same shit that doesn't work, then like, why are you wasting your time and money doing this? Wait until you have something. To me, most of my comedy time is spent writing. I write. People write from stage. I write from home and then rewrite from stage. Like, they laughed more at the setup. Now the setup is the punchline, and that's the writing I'll do from stage, but I won't even go up unless I have underlined in my notes what the punchline is. If I can't underline what the punchline is, I am not even going to attempt this joke because I don't have a joke yet.
So you are rigid with your
Dude,
everything you do.
I am obsessive to a fault, I would say.
Which again, I think is great because comedians, we're fucking lazy, man.
I mean, yeah, everyone's we're all crazy in a different way. Lazy, yeah. I mean, the writing is the exciting part to me. The inception, the creativity. That's the art part to me because you're creating something from nothing, and the rest of it, the performance, the rewriting, that's just craft.
Right.
Yeah.
What was the catalyst to get you into comedy?
During the pandemic, I was working at Amazon. It radicalized me really hard.
As everyone fucking was.
fuck capitalism.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck.
It's crazy.
Fuck the billionaires and all that shit.
Crazy.
I was writing. So many other my alumni, the people who graduated from Tisch in my writing program, were like, "Oh, I just can't write. It's too depressing." It's like, no, dude. Like we're stuck inside. I spent all year writing.
Right.
I got so good at writing. I wrote like 5 extremely polished pilots and like 1 feature, and I stand by all of those scripts. But here's the thing: I don't have an agent. Nobody knows who I am. Yeah. I don't have any connections. No one is going to read. You're not even your friends who say they're going to read your script are going to read your script. Yeah. So I was just like, fuck it. I'm going to tell the jokes myself. I come from a sitcom background. I'm used to writing like this is the line that should make people laugh out loud.
Got you.
And then I was like, well, I'll just tell those myself. And that's why I started with the one-liners, and I still do a lot of one-liners, but I'm starting to get to do longer storytelling jokes, which makes sense because that's my background. Before I was like, if I can't tell a long story where every part is funny, I would rather just do the one-liners. And now I feel like I'm ready to do something more ambitious. Because like, if you think I'm good at comedy, I'm not even supposed to be up here, dude. I'm autistic. I'm supposed to be back in the writer's room doing my own thing. And I'm gonna write something that's hilarious for someone else who is like pretty, like Mike Bassano or something is gonna tell the jokes and he's gonna kill and everyone's gonna suck his dick and he'll like send me like the 2 ugly girls as like payment for like writing it or whatever. Like, I'm not supposed to be up here.
Well, I mean, ugly girls to Bassano, they're still probably pretty, the average.
Dude,
girl, right?
dude, that dude's just like he's just a Chad. I don't know. All that like Chad beta is like pseudoscience bullshit. But like that being said, he's just a Chad. He just is. I don't know. But he's an actor. 100% an actor.
Right.
He's not a writer. I don't think. There are very few comedians I feel like are writers. Even people who are successful, I will say, you are funnier than your material. We're laughing because it's you. None of these jokes are special. Yeah. I think that about most of the people I know. They're not right. I mean, writing is so hard. It's even so hard. I fuck it up. I consider myself great at it. Am I killing every time with new shit? No. And most people can't even do it at all. Yeah. Like, there are so many people, I think, who's like, oh, I've been doing it for 4 years, 5 years, 10 years. Their following is not as big as mine. I don't have a big following. I am no one. I work at FireHouse Subs, and it's just because they plateaued. Right. Because they've got their 5 minutes about them. I look like, I don't know, your mom.
I've heard
your mom's ball sack. You hear that. You hear that. I won't do any of I look like jokes. That shit is hacky as fuck. And that's all they can do because they can't actually write, and that's why you're going to plateau. It doesn't matter if you've been doing it for 10 years. If you can't write, you're going to eventually just run out of shit to say.
So basically what you're saying is that to avoid that plateau, you got to get good at writing.
I think to avoid that plateau, you'll have to get good at writing. And I think that's what earlier this year I was upset that I had plateaued. And then I was like, well, it's because you are just writing one-liners and they're good, but you need to do something meatier. And I'm doing that for me because I was getting bored.
Good for you, though.
I was getting bored.
That's the best way to approach it if you're doing things for yourself. Not because of, you know, trying to get like a booker to fucking be like, oh, we got to get him.
Yeah, and now the bookers are coming to me.
Good for you,
Like, I'm just fucking around doing my own thing, and now they're saying like, oh, Itai, you're funny. Like, you could come on the show.
Dude,
I was like, okay, cool.
It's all over this. It's all over town, bro. Like, literally, I bring your name up, and people will fucking say, I love that guy.
It's wild. It's wild because I was not... I don't know. I think a big part of like the autism that an Asperger's specifically that a lot of people have is there's like a sort of arrogance. And I think up until college, I want to say until I graduated, I was like, I am Itai Lev, like undiscovered autistic savant. I am the greatest writer on the planet. And then like college was just so miserable for me socially. I was such a train wreck. I was so depressed that it kind of humbled me. And I'd be like, none of that is true. I'm not a god. But now everyone's like, yeah, Itai's hilarious. I was like, fuck, you know, maybe 14-year-old me was right.
I would just say don't let it get to your head, bro. Just whatever you're doing is working, bro.
I guess. I don't know. It's surreal. It really is.
Like, what? You said almost 3 million?
I have that stupid joke has like 3 million views on Instagram, 1 million on TikTok. But the thing is, like, nothing really changed that much. people come up and say that was funny. Maybe a couple people will book me for a show, like Baca, if you know him.
Yeah, I do know
He's just
Baca.
like, you should come to South by Southwest with me.
I
was
just
like,
got that text as well.
Yeah, okay, great. So I was like, okay, yeah, sure, that sounds cool.
You gonna do it?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do it.
Okay.
But like I still work at FireHouse Subs.
Right.
I'm not famous. No one is reading my pilots. So
Right.
like it's just
It's only a matter of time, right? If you keep just outputting
it's a matter
this stuff.
of time, and that's what I'm trying to do. Like I'll probably keep doing stand up forever just because I like that I only have to do it with just me.
Right, yeah,
Whereas like
100%.
any sort of film, TV production
100%.
is such a collaborative art form. And that's not a bad thing, but it's
No,
fun
not
to
at
do
all,
something
but-
by yourself.
right.
But like, yeah, I'm trying to do weird TV film hybrid, like what even is this?
Yeah.
Like project because that's what I want to do.
You're an entertainer. Dude.
Yeah, I mean that's what I
Seriously.
do. That's what I want to do.
And like you like the thing is you're very unique as a comedian.
Yeah?
You know what I
You
mean?
think so?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
I just say keep running with it, dude. Keep
Yeah,
writing.
I mean that's what I'm doing is hopefully I eventually get enough attention. They'll be like, "You want to do a special?" I'll be like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do a special, but like I would rather do one of these fucking pilots
right.
or
Oh,
something."
okay.
I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah. I mean, to me this is a means to an end, and I'm having fun with it. Like I
Got
like
you.
making people laugh.
So that's your whole goal then is just to go into.
I mean, I've been working on some of these scripts since in high school,
that's true.
polishing the fuck out of them.
true.
Like it'll always that's what I spent the most time doing.
and that's what usually happens, bro.
And it makes you a better writer too, because like
Absolutely.
I wasn't doing any screenwriting or teleplay writing last year, which was my first year doing stand-up. This is my second year. I was like, I gotta go back and repolish these scripts because I'm now 10 times funnier.
Right, and did they help? And
Yeah,
did it-
and
yeah.
now I'm just better at both.
Good, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I haven't done a script in like 6 months.
You gotta eventually go back to it.
I think I will
and
because
rewrite
it's
it.
itching now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
you just be like, oh, it's not. It's like when you rewrite your old material. Someone tells you like, oh, Itai, you got to do 15 minutes. Like, well, fuck, I've got to bring out some of the old stuff, and you realize
Right,
this is not
true.
as sharp as the new stuff, and you got to rewrite it.
Very true.
Yeah.
So you feel like that transition from writing to comedy in terms of your writing, you felt like that was a smooth transition?
Oh,
Because mine was rough.
there was no difference at all. The
Wow, dude.
challenge was getting up on stage and presenting and talking, like not just being like, oh, I love movies and shit. I don't know. Like just being able to talk and articulate and come off as like, oh, we can laugh at this guy because he's not going to kill himself, actually. Like that was the hard part. Writing jokes is easy. Writing good jokes is hard.
Right. Okay,
But writing
gotcha.
jokes is easy.
Right.
Yeah. Setup, punchline. It's like memes. I made memes like growing up, like top text, bottom text. That's it.
Wow. And that's helpful too with comedy, I'm
Yeah,
sure. With
yeah.
short form.
Yeah, in the short term, yeah. And now when I'm trying to do larger bits, it's still mostly the same. It's just longer. Like I'm telling a long story, but it is actually just a collection of one-liners
Right.
that build on each other.
Exactly,
If it's a
yeah.
line that doesn't produce a laugh, then you cut it out. So many people do sets like a great story or a great set, and it's like that was good, but it was like too long. Like you need to cut half of this if it's not getting a huge
Or
laugh.
just turn those dead moments into like punchlines, right?
Exactly. Yeah. You got to trim. You got to actually look at every single line
Kill your
on a piece
darlings.
of paper. Kill your darling. Say this one is not that it isn't a good joke. It's just it's the weakest of the 5 or whatever, and now
Right.
it's gone.
Right. Damn it, I had a good joke. Or a good joke. Good question. We're talking about
How long has it been? Like how long are these things usually?
About an hour.
An hour. How long has it
Yeah,
been?
it's been about 45 minutes.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I could talk to you forever though,
yeah,
bro.
I mean,
Seriously, this
yeah.
has been fun.
I don't know if any of this is interesting. Like,
Dude, you have no idea.
The thing
No,
about
this is
the thing
great.
about like one of the many things about autism is that like if I'm interested in something, I will just information dump on you.
That's
and
fine.
It's not even really a conversation. It's just me talking. So I can get lost. And I was like, oh, I'll be talking about something forever, especially if I'm high. It's like, oh, this person definitely wants to hear about like the history of like comic book publishing in like 1930s and 40s. And then after like 5 minutes, I'm like, oh, they don't actually give a fuck about anything I'm saying.
So, but yeah, so your
Yeah.
memory then, is it like picture perfect memory? Like where you learn something and remember it?
No, I think that my memory is pretty awful in terms of memorizing information. Like I got to memorize the periodic table. I got to memorize the presidents. Like it's not happening.
Yeah.
I just can't do it. But if like something happened to me, I remember everything comedians said. I don't know why people are like, oh, you bombed, no one's gonna remember. It's like, yeah, I'll remember that shit. I'll be laughing about that forever. Like remember when you fucking said that racist shit as like a riff and everyone was uncomfortable? Like I went home and told the Benz about it and we laughed for hours, dude, and we still do.
The Benz about it?
Yeah, and if one of the Bens doesn't think it's funny, I'm like, this is a dead room. I'll go talk to the other one, and he'll think it's funny. Yeah, dude. Some of these
Holy
people, I just
shit.
get so much enjoyment out of some of the people that suck and just force themselves to do this. And I think it's because of resentment that I have for my past self.
No,
you know?
it makes sense.
It makes sense. If I see someone, I'm not gonna name drop anyone.
This is why bullying is good, though, right? And having a rough childhood is good because I think you're realistic.
I think it's good in that it makes you funnier, but I don't think I'm like a good person. I mean, no one's a good person, but exactly. I derive pleasure from the suffering of others. I think that I am just so jaded in terms of like what makes something funny.
Right.
Like if no one dies in the joke or is traumatized, then like I just don't care.
Right.
You know, I'm just, and this is not a good thing. This is just me being jaded. But yeah, sometimes I laugh harder at the people who suck. You know, because it's just funny to watch them force themselves through it. It just reminds me of like when I would force myself to like go to a dance in high school or like do something social, and I'm just like, why are you even here? Everyone's just gonna make fun of you. But I'm like, with the comedy, it's like you did this to yourself. No one pointed a gun at you and said get on stage. So if you're gonna get up and suck and just talk about like the N-word for 5 minutes, then like I feel like it's okay for me to like roast you like that. You're doing this to yourself, man.
Oh my god, bro. All right, well, since we're on that subject, what do you think about me as a comedian, like 6 months in?
It's really hard to tell because you're just 6 months in, and I was not doing anything special 6 months in. To me, you just seem like, you're still finding your voice, you're still working on strong punchlines, you're still working on longer bits, but for the time you've been doing it, you're at a very normal place.
Okay.
So I would just say keep going, and you're going to learn as you go, and I would say you're just like a totally adequate person who's been doing comedy for like what, 6 months?
Yeah, 6 months.
So you seem like you've been doing comedy for 6 months.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's
so
true.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
so that's fine. Yeah, no, I mean there are some people out here who have been doing it for 10 years, and they're just forcing it's the sunk cost fallacy. Like I've spent 10 years of my life being a comedian. This is now a part of my internalized identity. I cannot stop. It's like, okay, well then your life is just gonna suck, and you're gonna be poor forever, and I'm gonna be laughing at you. And I'm going to remember every stupid thing you say, and the Bens and I are going to laugh about it, you know? Dude, I get so excited when, like, one of the freaks comes to Fourth Wall. Dude, I'm so happy, dude. I'm just like, oh, dude, because the Bens don't hear about, my friends don't think I'm funny. They're like, oh, that's just Itai doing shtick.
Are you serious, bro?
Because it's just, it seems shtick to them. Like it seems insincere because it's so clearly written ahead of time based on when I'm just riffing off the cuff to them. So like, oh, I just wrote this hilarious bit. The Bens aren't gonna think that's funny, but like, oh, this freak was up there talking about like how he wants to like fuck dogs or whatever. I was like, oh, this is hilarious, dude. Not for the reasons they think it is, but this is funny. I can tell the Bens about this. And that's where I get my pleasure.
Do they get a laugh when you tell them this?
Yeah, sometimes one of the Bens is like, Itai, you're just being mean. But then the other Ben's like, no, dude, this is hilarious. So it's like, okay, we've got half the room.
There we go.
On board.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's all you need.
That's what you want.
Yeah, that's what you want,
dude.
Yeah.
God damn it, Itai.
Yeah.
You are a character, bro.
I mean,
seriously.
It just is. I don't know. It is what it is. We're out here being weird. It's not. Yeah, I mean, you said it. I don't have anything to add to that. I'm certainly a character. I feel like people would like want to watch me as like a character on a TV show because I'm compelling, but like you don't want to actually like spend like Homer Simpson. Like everyone loves Homer. He's fucking hilarious, but like he's a fucking drunk idiot asshole. No one actually would like want to be friends with him. So that's me, dude.
You heard it first. Itai
Lev. There's no I.
Oh shit, I fucked that up.
People always fuck it up. Like one of the girls I lost my virginity to, she was
one of the girls. What the fuck, Itai?
She was like Itai, like Italy. It's like there's no L. Like I was losing my virginity. It's like you can call me whatever you want. If you want me to be Italy, that's fine. But there's no L. People add the I or the L or it's just Itai Lev. That's it.
Itai Lev.
That's it.
That's a good comedian name though.
I guess. Yeah. I feel like some people have like a really long ass ethnic name.
Yeah.
I don't have to. I do have an ethnic name, but it's short. So like that's okay. We'll keep it in there, and you can just learn about some Judaism. I don't know. How does like the stuff that you're challenged with now 2 years in, how is that different from kind of the stuff that you were challenged 6 months in? I think now it is all me trying to get tangible results in the business side of it. And it has almost nothing to do with the writing. I know that if I don't get me wrong, like I don't think I'm a god or anything. I'm still learning.
But you're confident with it.
Yeah, this is not my final form, but I am confident that if I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm going to continue to succeed and continue to get better at this. So now it's like, okay, but like, how many views did this get? Of those views, how many people actually converted to followers?
Right.
Are any of them actually going to go to a show in LA?
Right.
How soon can I quit FireHouse Subs? That's the shit that is stressing me out.
Right.
I don't plan to be a billionaire from this, or there's no money in this. But if I just had a Patreon and I was able to make rent and quit FireHouse Subs and just do this full time, but like I live in a box, like that's fine, dude. That's the dream. Fuck, I'm tired of steaming meats and cheeses.
Yeah.
That is what I'm focusing on. Not so much like, oh, does this joke work?
Right.
Yeah.
And what are some of the steps that you're taking towards that goal?
I think I'm uploading on Instagram consistently.
There you go.
If something doesn't hit, I just take it down. No one needs to see it. I could work on it again. I could reuse it. I could make it better. So it's just gone. But if something goes viral, then it'll slowly build my following, and I'll leave that one up. And then, I mean, I'm just doing shit. I'm trying to build my online presence, and also, as you said, people are starting to know me in the scene.
Right.
I'm starting to try to use that, like just be an annoying asshole. Like,
I just reached out to my first booker, literally not too long ago.
I mean, you just got to be annoying consistently.
Yeah.
That's the only way these wheels are turned. Yeah.
Well, in terms of your social media, I just think you just need to post more, honestly, because once people start seeing that you've been doing this and this is what you do, they're more inclined to follow you.
What I'm hesitant is that, like, I don't want to crap out a bunch of jokes I don't stand by, so that I could post every day. I do 2 videos a week, and if I feel like if I was trying to do 1 a week, the quality of the jokes would just suffer.
Right.
That's why I'm working on supplemental content.
Right, which would,
like this.
Okay.
The Benz and I are working on a podcast.
Great.
I don't want to do comedians talking comedy. I think that niche is well covered by other people like yourself. I want to do something.
Not even by me, dude.
No,
I
mean, okay,
a grain in the fucking.
Some other people, but like I want to do some weirdo shit, and then that could be supplemental to the. I'm working on a comic book that could be supplemental. I do need to post more. I do think if I was pumping out the jokes for 1 a day, it would just be like, Itai, this sucks, and I don't want that.
Would you do skits and stuff like that?
Maybe. I was doing that a little bit. I don't like sketch that much. It's just not my jam. I would rather write a feature or a pilot that is funny. But yeah, I mean, you just got to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I'm like you, basically, where I just took the pandemic and wrote a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah.
What are some of the stories, like what's your feature about?
I don't really like to talk about it.
Got you. That's fine.
They're just so polished. If I was gonna talk to someone, I would
Yeah.
want them to sign an NDA.
Yeah,
Because like
gotcha.
that is more my life's. I mean, I'm 25, but like
That's your life's work.
That's what I've been working on the hardest. The comedy that I'm doing on stage is the new, like, oh yeah, I'm just fucking around.
Right.
But like, if you want to read like the pilots, like, you sign an NDA because this is valuable.
All of them are comedy,
or will be
though.
someday.
Yeah, all of them are comedy. I'm
Or
guessing.
usually.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll do like a really like sardonic drama with like gallows humor or whatever.
Okay.
But to me, like the line between like
Like a
something,
Coen Brothers movie, kind
yes,
of, right? Okay.
To me, the line between something like twisted, dark movie or like everyone dies or whatever and a comedy, it's a very thin line. The line between laughter and horror is very thin. So
And you're trying to
like when they
that
wrote
line.
Texas Chainsaw, the original one, like they would keep it in the script if they thought it was fucking hilarious. It's like, yeah, and then he hits him with the mallet, and then we'll play like the pig sounds, and they're laughing about it. It's like, okay, but when we film it, it'll be horrifying. It's
Holy
almost
shit,
the
really?
same. It's the line is very thin. That's why whenever a tragedy happens, it's like you can make this a joke if you ease people into it.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It's almost the same.
That's kind of like because my writing, I don't know what my writing was up until I wrote my feature. My feature is basically 2 old folks escape a care home to have one last night out in Las Vegas.
Okay. And you're from Vegas, right?
Yeah, and
Okay,
I used to work as a caretaker.
Okay.
So I just, write what you know,
So it's
right?
like lived in,
Yeah,
for sure. Okay.
exactly. And it's, and then I wrote a couple drafts, and then I started really getting into the Coen Brothers, which I loved them the whole time. But I really started getting like their comedy.
They're geniuses.
Dude,
I think that they're one of the only directors working in Hollywood where I want to see what they are doing.
Absolutely.
I mean, anytime Hollywood does something cool, it's because auteur directors got something got away with something. They got away with something, or there was some low budget indie thing or B genre movie where they had creative freedom and they accidentally did something creative. Because Hollywood
like
is
Tarantino almost, right?
I mean. Yeah, Hollywood. Tarantino was a great director, but he is complicit in so much shit. I mean, his entire career is from fucking Harvey Weinstein. That's his best friend. There's no way he didn't know everything that was going on.
Dude,
like, you're a scumbag. Like, if I saw him, I would be like, yeah, dude, I fucking love Pulp Fiction. Go fuck yourself. Almost killed Uma Thurman. Like, he 100% part of the toxic Hollywood problem. I'm gonna see The Critic or whatever he's making.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna see it, and then I'm gonna say that he's a scumbag.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing I want to bring up. So you have this, like, the laugh, right? Is that like you expressing being uncomfortable? Because you'll do a joke, and when it doesn't hit, that laugh will come out.
I think I have to, just because I'm laughing at myself. I think if something goes wrong, it's my fault. And then I think it's funny, like, oh yeah, autistic Itai is trying to be human, and it didn't work.
And and you'll laugh at yourself.
That's funny to me. I think it's funny. That is a real sincere laugh. I think me fucking up is just like so pathetic that I find it funny. It's like, oh wow, you really thought that was gonna make people laugh, Itai, you fucking idiot, and that's funny.
I see that. Okay, yeah, because I just thought it was like a tick where it's like maybe you feel uncomfortable.
I mean,
and then it just comes out.
I think it is a tick I don't think about, but that's where it's coming from.
Yeah. I enjoy it.
I mean,
honestly,
I think that's just part of it. It's part of who I am.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's unique. Right? Like you're the only time you're laughing at yourself is when you're fucking bombing.
Yeah,
and it's a genuine laugh.
And you got to get to the point where bombing, it doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
Like, it doesn't. If you kill or if you bomb, I'm going to FireHouse Subs afterwards. You know, it's like nothing has really changed.
So basically, like, if you were to give yourself any advice 6 months in, what would that advice be? Write more? What would
I would say? To
kind of speed up the process.
I would say that you can kill jokes more. You can kill bits more. Because if I get like a chuckle out of like this 5-minute bit and the rest of it isn't working, like some people will be like, well, I can salvage this. I was like, move on to something else. And then maybe like in 6 months, it'll just come back to you. And it's like, and this is how I do that thing that wasn't working because now I've built this context or whatever. So I think keep writing new shit, abandon shit that isn't working, and then come back to it when you know what you're doing.
Shelve it.
Yeah. Exactly. You shelve it. You'll come back and it'll be better than it was. You just got to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm about to end it here.
For sure.
You obviously talk about not wanting to tour and being more so selling one of your pilots. Is that kind of like the end goal to where you can work in Hollywood as well as do some stand-up?
I think I want to be that guy who's like, oh yeah, Itai just did this limited series and it was this weird thing that the internet is talking about, but then also like he just did a set at the store or whatever. That's the dream.
Yeah.
That might be 10 years out, 20 years out. Maybe I'll never make it, but that is what I'm trying to do.
And do you think that the autism has helped you in a way, at least?
I think the autism had made me I can't speak. I think the autism makes me unique. I do not think I'm a good comedian because I am autistic. I think I am a good comedian who is autistic. And that's just part of it. That's not the source of it.
I think it plays in though, dude. I think there's something special with you.
I mean, I don't think there are that many people who are like, I'm an autistic comedian.
I've never seen it.
I've never seen it. And it's just true, you know. If I didn't mention it, everyone would be like, something is off with this guy. So that's just part of the act, I guess.
Yeah. Well, Itai, dude, I appreciate you coming on the pod, dude. This is great, dude. I'd be down to do it again.
Jerk session, you know, like theory, craft, you know, like, yeah. I mean, it was fun, though.
Let's let the people know where they can find you on their socials.
Yeah, okay. So I'm at Itai Lev Writer on Instagram. And I think TikTok, I think it's the same. And that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay, for sure,
there's
dude.
going to be Patreon soon, but it's not up yet.
You ever think about doing YouTube, maybe?
Yeah, you know, I started uploading some of my shorts to there, and I'm starting to think that I can start putting some of the larger bits. Now I'm starting to do larger bits. No one wants to watch a reel if it's more than 20 seconds.
Exactly.
That's probably going to pivot to YouTube. The reels do, like the shorts that I upload to Instagram and TikTok do fine on YouTube, so I'll probably start doing longer form content there. Yeah, but that's what I got for now. That's where I am.
Well, for sure, dude. Well, this was a really interesting conversation.
Yeah, dude.
Itai,
I mean,
it
was fun to be on.
I appreciate your comedy. I appreciate you for who you are as a person, dude.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Very fun conversation.
Thank you.
Everyone, thank you again for watching and listening. Until next one.
All right.